And I see that Paper Diamond just jumped on the stage. So I'd love for you to, speak a little bit. And how are you doing, man? How are you doing today? Thank you for coming. It's really appreciated. I know we were being really annoying in the group a little bit, and we've been pushing this a lot because we wanted a lot of our members in the U Club to kind of join us while we talk about, U Club and how dope it's been so far. And you'd probably be the best person to talk about it a little bit.
Yo, GM, yeah, bro, not bothersome at all. I think that the whole point of of U Club is to foster friendships with each other. So, I think that me coming through and showing some love when you guys show so much love to me, it's like it's not really a question for me. You know what I mean? I appreciate all that you guys do to be a part of what we're building, and so it's like the least I can do. You know.
Oh, man, thank you. Again, like I just happened to be in the space that you were in when it's like an alpha space where they were talking about Alien Club, and you started talking about the U Club, and it wasn't something that I was expecting either. I was just like, oh my God, he's like kind of dropping alpha. I didn't hear anything about this yet. And one of the things that I heard you discussing, during that space is that we're going to be having like I guess the base traits, they're going to be like forever customizable, whether you're buying them on secondary or you're minting, so that you could potentially have this NFT that you're creating and make it look exactly like you, essentially, which is what you did in your profile pic. Obviously, you made it look like you, which is super dope. I think that it's pretty innovative in the sense that you don't have a lot of NFTs that are customizable as it is. I think the closest thing that came to it so far is like Friends with You that just recently dropped. But you're doing something different in the sense that you're gonna have like these people that are coming into your project, and they're minting, and their character is gonna look just like them. Like we didn't have that with Friends with You. It was like these like cartoonish characters and stuff. And I know that you were mentioning it before in the space that we were in yesterday, and you were saying like a lot of people, when they're looking at NFT projects, they're looking at these NFTs in secondary market that have traits that kind of remind them of them. They want to kind of see themselves in their NFT and stuff, and that's just one of the many reasons why I'm super excited for what's to come next, and the customization of those base traits.
Yeah, and you nailed it. I mean, it's interesting because for me, like, when buying into some of these projects, like Deadfellas, for example, like I'm bald as fuck in real life, so I'm not going to get like some dope hairstyle Deadfella personally. Like it wouldn't feel right. It's like a misrepresentation of me, and so I end up like just looking for myself in all these projects, and like because I'm not going to get some like crazy long haired PFP that and like be rocking that. Like my real friends will be like, "What are you doing, bro? You
That's
you
not
got
you.
you got a wig? You got a wig on, or what's the vibes here? Like, you know what I mean?" So that was part of it, and then also like I just look at it like there's so many things about the NFT and Web3 space that I feel like can be can be better. Like I don't like seeing like melanated skin on the floor, and like I don't like seeing people uh, I don't like seeing people not be able to be themselves and have to pay crazy money to like make things their own and feel that they're a part of something. And I don't like the allow list like grind of getting on and spamming chats. And so I think that for me it's like, how do I make this whole thing feel different and feel like what's missing, what I feel is missing. And so that's kind of been the motivation for me. Like it's crazy because I put up a self-portrait, and I've been doing these 3D things. My history is I'm like a record producer and touring musician and DJ for 17 to 20 years. And, I've been in countless sessions with some of the dopest, biggest artists in the world. And that's been my thing the whole time. But so simultaneously, like when I would get burnt out on making music, I would turn to art and design, and it led me to found a design firm out of Colorado where we were handling predominantly like music stuff. So when my son was born about 5 years ago, I was like, you know what? I don't want to live on the tour bus anymore. It's like amazingly fun and inspiring, but also slightly toxic, as I'm sure you can understand. Um, so I like really started going hard on the art, and I ended up art directing a whole bunch of music festivals in the States, and I'm the art director of the two biggest music festivals here in New Zealand, where I live now. And so when COVID hit, I basically was like, I was touring in Asia, playing shows. I like the first 50 cases hit Asia, and I'm like, oh my God, like they're about to close the New Zealand borders where my son is. So I like hightailed it back here. And the day I was supposed to fly to one of the music festivals that I art direct called Buku Music Festival in New Orleans, all of they shut down every festival I worked on. They canceled every show that I had coming up. And like everyone, I was like, wow, first time in almost 18 years, like everything I've built is just gone. Like, what am I going to do? And I had found out about Super Rare at that time in NFTs. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm a 3D artist. I'm just going to start making art for myself. And I read this book called Atomic Habits, which basically, like, if you haven't read that book, it's incredibly inspiring. It basically, like, advocates that with a 1 degree change in direction will lead us to an entirely different destination. So if you set identities for who you want to be, and then you set up tiny habits that you do 7 or 10 minutes a day, like what we're capable of as humans, is incredibly powerful. So with that, I was like, you know what? I am a software and web developer now. And so for all of 2020, I studied while I was making art for myself, no clients, like refined my 3D craft. And I was like, you know what? I coded every day. I taught myself a couple languages. And then in 2021, things were still shut down and the borders are still closed here in New Zealand. So I haven't been back to LA. But but I got a job at a tech firm, and then I like, professionally wrote code for all of 2021, and that really helped me achieve that identity. So now I found myself, having been on Super Rare for almost a year and already understanding the NFT scene, but now I know how to write cross-platform web and mobile applications. I know how to write smart contracts. I know how to make the art. I know how to make music. I've built communities the last 15, 20 years with my music career and on all these different social media platforms. And so I'm like, wow, everything that I have built is now coming together to a head. And so I left the firm. I'm still good friends with all the people, like one of the tech lead at the firm has been writing some code with me for the Y0UCLUB stuff. But basically, I'm like, wow, like I can make some art and then deploy a contract and just have it do exactly what I want. So come to now, I wanted a PFP that represented me because we flew down to, and I'm sorry for like going on such a long-winded
Oh
explanation.
man, talk as
No,
long
it's
as you
cool,
want. It's
bro.
fine.
We want to hear it all.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So, I flew down to Christchurch, which is in New Zealand, because I got invited to show some of my new super rare pieces. Because I did like 5 one-of-ones just to put my foot down in the scene, even though I've been watching it for over a year and learning about it. And I flew down there and I was hanging out with like these 40 different NFT artists. And I was hanging out with this dude named Ali who we hung out for like 15 hours. And then finally, I was like, "Oh, what's your like artist name, by the way?" And he told me his name, and I realized that we had been chilling for 18 hours, but I've been talking to dude for like 3.5 months every day in one of my DGen chats. And I was like, "Man, this is crazy! Like, I know this dude so well, and I didn't even. We've been hanging out all day and night. We like got turned together and had a great time, and I didn't realize that it was him. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna 3D model myself, and so I 3D modeled myself so people could kind of get an idea of what I actually look like. And I'm super doxed, like, I have like a Wikipedia page and shit. But uh, so like the self portrait went crazy and got like hundreds of thousands of views and all these people hitting me up. And I was like, man, I think that this is something that people will fuck with, and that like, that could be missing and solve some of the problems that I see in what's happening. So I started to like build all this stuff, and Jake Udell, who I've respected and known for like close to, since I was like my first year as a professional musician, seeing what he was doing with Metalink and the community that he was building, and just what he's done with artists like Zoo, the musician, and how they built such crazy shit. I was like, man, like he hit me up and he's like, bro, this is the one. Like, let's co-found this thing together. We'll build it. So we've been like, you know, building all this stuff, building all the art. The code, as you said, is pretty much how you described it. Like, I've written the smart contracts not only for the U keys, which are coming out soon, and I'm not going to like ruin the surprise for you guys, but you know, we've got 500 people on the list for the U keys now, and there's like a waiting list of like 4,000 people to get into the community page, and I'm like hand inviting 200 people every other week so we can actually become friends and get to know each other. And so like we got the keys coming out in the next couple of days. The contract's are already done, the first round of keys anyway. And then yeah, it's like, you know, I don't want to like, there's so much cool shit going on with the code, but like you said, like part of it is being able to customize things even after mint, which I don't think has ever been done before. So, you know, I'm trying to push the boundaries of how we build community and how we see ourselves and how we interact with the technology behind Web3, and how we represent like all these things wrapped up in something. And it's crazy because as a musician, you know, I've thrown shows and tours and music festivals myself, and I've art directed all these festivals and helped them with how they, you know, build these communities. So, you know, I plan to utilize all of that knowledge to do a lot of in real life stuff, and build this thing in crazy ways. And we've got some crazy people already in the membership group. And yeah, so that's like the overarching idea, is just like it's really about you and like how it makes you feel. And that's what it is for me. It's like, how do these things make me feel? Because ultimately, like, I get a great sense of peace from the impermanence of things, like the art that we make, all these things, like they may not exist someday. So really all that really matters is these little moments that we share with each other. So if we can build on those moments and make them feel special. And, you know, I think that humans seek novelty. So creating novel ways to do all these things is part of my, I guess, mantra or my inspiration. And so that's kind of the whole vibe. It's like there's so much stuff that I haven't even talked about or told you guys yet, but like, and when honestly, like it's so crazy because what we're building is just so amazing with all the people in there, but no one has even really seen the art yet. And when you see the art, like the people who see it, like they trip out, bro. It's gonna be crazy.
That's
Yeah,
amazing, bro.
I mean, I know that you put out like a little like a shadow sample of potential art that might be coming out in the community, or I think it was on maybe on your Twitter page or something like that. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see, and obviously, like we just kind of touched on the fact that like nobody has done this yet. Nobody has kind of created an NFT where you can kind of change the base traits to make you look like you, even after you've minted it and even after it's sold on the secondary. Like it can sell like 3 or 4 or 5 times, and the person can just change it to whatever they want. They don't necessarily need to worry about, oh well, is this going to look like me? So I think that's really dope. I know you spoke on the U keys a little bit. I don't. The same thing. I don't really want to ruin things. I know that you were saying and mentioning in the group before that the community is like really early, and they will possibly be rewarded for that. And I don't want to kind of go more into that because again, I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, and I don't want you to be like, oh, this fucking guy like came on my
No, no,
face and
you're
he's like,
so good.
say some stuff. So
You're good. I mean, once the contracts are on mainnet, like you're going to be able to read what's going, like those who are tech savvy can just see what's going on. So like I got, you know, I'm pretty much an open book type of human. Like like I said, like it's really, this isn't something that's just like about me. It's really about you. You know what I mean? So like I, I think that you'll come to find that like it's something like with Loser Club, right? Like I really fuck with Javon because he just feels like a real human, and that's how I am too. You know, I'm a father. I got a 5-year old. I'm raising him, you know, on my own, and being creative and teaching him about creativity and sharing it with the community. And like I'm just a real person, just like everybody else. So like you'll find that I'm pretty open with my energy. And when we do all meet in person, and when we get to like hang and create together. And that's part of it too for me, is like I find that I get the most affinity for people and projects when they give me the tools to get creative myself. So that's part of like what I want to do, is like give people, like, do you want to become a coder? I'll tell you how I did it in the span of a year and a half. Do you want to know how I had like a 15-year music career? Plus, like, still even to this day, like, I've got music coming out this year on some crazy shit. But like, I just want to help people get to where they want to be. And so with the keys, it's like, yeah, the first, we collected like the first 500 keys. There's going to be a few different tiers of the keys, and the first 500 are going to go out, and they all kind of do different things. And that's pretty much what it is now. Like, people who are in the community, like, I'm aiming to take care of all of our community before anything else. So like the first 500 are going to go out. We're going to see how things go with that. I definitely recommend holding those. And then, we'll continue to hook up the community and then figure out what the next steps are. And we just don't want people to be like grinding for a allow list. And this is my creative solution to do that. Cause I would rather people like spend time with their friends and family and fucking like be creative, as opposed to spamming discords, which is part of why we didn't set up a Discord at all, and why I don't intend to. I'd rather people pop in and like get to know each other without like living on there.
Yeah, man. Honestly, that's so amazing. And just to touch on like, your whole like your whole kind of view and your whole vision of helping people and wanting to kind of communicate with individuals and connect with individuals and kind of teach them with the knowledge that you have them. Like that's very on brand for who we are as like the GTA crypto community. Like we are all about like we've attained this knowledge of DeFi and like this knowledge of NFTs and stuff like that, and we very much just are desperate to share it with people. Like we don't want people to be grinding or kind of paying for this information that we got for free, and we want everybody to succeed like we've been succeeding and how we hope to succeed, throughout the year and grow and stuff like that. So like it's everything that you're doing is definitely resonating with us. I'm super excited for, what you have to offer. And, these U keys sound like really dope. I was really excited when, you hit me up yesterday as well after the space. And after I was kind of just geeking out and going crazy about everything that you guys were talking about in there, and we kind of had a conversation. So that's appreciated as well. I'm a father of like 3 kids myself. Thankfully, even you having to raise one kid is like insane to me, because thankfully I have my wife and everything. But like I understand the importance of wanting to spend time with your friends and your family, and how crazy that this whole space can be in terms of a grind, a Discord grind and stuff. So you guys are just doing a lot of innovative stuff, and typically speaking, these kind of projects that are innovating and paving the road and moving forward are the ones that get rewarded. So, again, thank you so much for, sharing everything that you have here. I do see that we had a couple people jump on stage. We have one person raise their hand and everything.
I wanted to get to that person because they actually requested a while ago, and I just want to respect their time to give them a moment.
Absolutely. So, PMF, if you have something to say or you want to add to the conversation, by all means, thank you for being so patient and raising your hand. It's definitely appreciated.
Yeah, what up? Paper D, what's going on? I try and go into the community thing, but I've actually never posted like a tweet in it. But is the first 500 keys? You actually like kept answering every question I had, like one after another, and then that's like why I unraised my hand. But is it going to be the first 500 that filled out the Google Doc form, or like is it randomized?
Yeah, it's the people that signed up. Those were like the first 500, and so yeah, there's like I said, there's going to be a few different like tiers of keys, and they all kind of do different things, and like we're figuring it out as we go. But the first 500 are going to be for the 500 people who are signed up, and it's rather crazy because like Zhang, as you saw, like if you DM me, it's me responding. Like I've personally like hand invited everybody in the community, and so I'm being real specific about like cultivating a vibe. And so with the keys, it's like, yes, the first 500 are going out first for everybody that signed up, but people shouldn't stress because, like I'm well aware of who's in the community and how people are representing themselves. Like, are they shilling? Are they like being an active part of the community? All this different stuff. And so, it's all a work in progress, but we're definitely paying attention to what's going on in there and how we're doing it. So, if you're not on that first 500 list, then like don't sweat it, because there's going to be lots more opportunities, and it's not going to be like, I know some people are in there and not tweeting, and I'm not tripping about any of that. It's really just like, as these things pick up and there's going to be all kinds of stuff coming. So, I'm not sweating it if people aren't active, but if when the announcements come, it's like, you definitely want to get in there when you can. So the easiest way, honestly, is like turn on notifications for me and for YOUCLUB. And when the stuff does come out, you'll have some time to like make sure you get in there in the right time. And, I've, I've written some code for the Twitter. So anytime somebody follows the Twitter, like I know I have the exact order and username and all the stuff of who's followed the Twitter in what order. And like, it's good to be early and tell our friends. And I think that's kind of the main indicator, is like, are we, if some good people that you think are going to be amazing, like in real life friends, then I'm all about it. Like, friends of you or friends of mine. So yeah, that's the vibe.
Cool. And then one more thing. My Twitter isn't updated, but is that like because that's always been one of the things that I hated, is that like I couldn't turn on notifications for YOUCLUB, like as a community. Is the new Twitter update have notifications for the actual community, like tweets?
So it isn't done yet, but what's kind of cool is one of my homies is one of the developer advocates of Twitter, and I've also been in touch with like the actual Twitter community team. I sent them like a shit ton of ideas about how I think it could be done, not better, but just like different functionality that could be dope. And they responded to me, and they indicated like, this is on our roadmap, this is on our roadmap, this is on our roadmap. So, I don't know dates on. To answer your question, no, there is no notification for the community itself. But like, for example, when the keys come out, I'm going to post about it on Paper Diamond and say, hey, make sure you look in the community page today, etc. So I'll make sure that pertinent announcements are going out. And it's going to be kind of fun because we got like almost 3,000 people on the YOUCLUB Twitter right now, and we haven't even tweeted. So it's just going to be amazing, like when we do start using that, and all the community is already behind us, and we're just like going at it as a force. So there's some like exciting shit with that. But I think we're going to see more functionality for the Twitter communities, and it feels good to be early on that, like doing something different, not utilizing Discord. They have like all these different ideas that I submitted, that they said, hey, yeah, we are already working on this. So as those things come out, it's just going to make the community better and better. And so we're kind of growing with Twitter in that regard.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. One thing that I kind of have, and again, like I have to keep apologizing in case, like, because I don't want to put you in an awkward situation. I don't want you to leak any alpha that you're not willing to leak. But with your history, as a musician, obviously, and with all the work that you've been kind of doing, putting into this code and everything. Do us as your community have any maybe musical traits to possibly look forward to on something maybe a little bit rarer than the regular thing? Or is that something that might come down in a future project, perhaps, maybe?
Yeah, I actually don't have an answer for that, but I would just say like, there's a lot of people who are down to contribute to the project, and so there's going to be a lot of fun shit that happens. And like I said before, like I've thrown music festivals myself, and and done like arena shows and all the kind of stuff that like, you know, we can interact with people of various creative endeavors. And I think that when the time is right, like it's going to be, you know, there's been a lot of conversations with people that are down. So, you know, I think to answer your question, like musical traits, like I haven't exactly, I'm not exactly sure how the music portion of it is going to materialize, but I will say that like, you know, through almost 18, 20 years in the music industry, like it's a natural part of me. So there's definitely going to be, it's definitely going to influence it.
Okay, well, thank you again, man. It's really, really appreciate you coming today and showing love. And you know, I've had a couple conversations with you right now. You're like a super genuine dude. I really do appreciate, you know, taking the time, you know, out of your day to, you know, talk with us today. You know, talking to me like you regularly normally do. I do have a couple people that are requesting. I'm just making sure that nobody has any other questions before we kind of move on from UClub, obviously. But again, like Diamond, really, truly, thank you for coming today. It's really appreciated.
Real,
Yeah,
thanks for coming for sure,
my
man.
pleasure. And I'm probably going to slide out in a couple minutes so I can get some work done. But if anybody else has any questions, awesome. Thank you so much for hosting me. And yeah, you know, it's just, this is how I want it to be. I want us to actually get to know each other, and we'll start doing some U Club spaces. You know, we've been talking to Jake about when we want to start doing that so we can all get to know each other and have hangouts. And one of the things I suggested to the Twitter communities was like being able to launch spaces just within the community itself. So I'm hoping that they come through and make that happen, because I think it'll make it so we can do like just our squad spaces from time to time. And yeah, so if anybody else has any questions, let me know. And other than that, I'll probably slide out here in a few. But thank you so much.
Hey, may I
Absolutely,
ask
the
a question?
private spaces would be amazing. Yeah, Dinosaur Spaceman, go ahead. Sorry.
Paper Diamond, I'm just on your Instagram and I see a lot of stuff going on. You said you're a musician. Where can I listen to your shit, man? I'm very interested. I want to hear what you're making.
Yeah, bro. I mean, real talk, if you just Google me, you can pretty much learn everything about me. Find my music is on all streaming platforms. I know it's funny to say, but like your boy's got a Wikipedia page and
Nah,
shit.
that's hard. Are you crazy? That's hard. What time for the Wikipedia page? Are you serious? No, I'm serious. I'm about to check it out right now. I
we
appreciate you,
actually
though.
Yeah,
been lacking some music on these episodes, Zhang. So maybe we could post some music from Paper Diamond for the next episode or
Yeah, man,
something.
I might have to do that or something next time I have intro music or something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, and on some alpha shit, I got another project called Bacon, Bekon. And so my music partner for that, he wrote like 8 songs on Kendrick Lamar's Damn. And if you listen to Damn and you listen to our Bacon album, you're gonna hear a lot of the connections that I've been doing behind the scenes. And you know, my boy Danny, who goes by Bacon, you know, he is a 10-time Grammy winning producer, and he's the face of that project, but I'm like a half of it. So, you know, if you heard any of the like um, Beatlesy, Beach Boysy vibes on Kendrick Lamar's Damn, like you'll hear where that all came from when you listen to the Bacon album. And so, yeah, there's like, you know, there's a few different kind of musical endeavors that I'm a part of, Paper Diamond being a big one of them. That's more like electronic meets like hip hop, just all the influences that I grew up with and stuff. So, yeah, just, you know, easily findable.
Oh, dude, please share some links before you leave, man. Honestly, just so when if someone else is listening to this afterwards, that's easy for them to find. I'm definitely looking you up as soon as I get off of this call as well, and taking in some of your stuff. That's like awesome. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say if you're going to start listening to Paper Diamond stuff, like um, my newest record is called Holograms. I would recommend starting there. Probably like the fan favorite, as is it always is like my first one, which is called Levitate. And the album I recommend checking out from Bacon is called Get With the Times. So if you look up Bekon, get with the times. Like that is one of the dopest pieces of music that I've ever been a part of. So definitely check those out. And yeah, and like I said, I'm always around. You can just hit me up. So it's all goody.
Man, I really appreciate everything. Thank you so much again. And if you do slide out before we have anything else to say, again, thank you so much. Last chance for anybody who might have a question for Paper Diamond before he cuts. So you're more than welcome to jump on the stage. Otherwise we will keep it pushing. We tend to like to have the spaces to be around an hour. It never lasts for an hour. It usually goes longer than that. So we always want to make sure that everybody feels like they're being listened to, and that if you want to speak, that you have the opportunity to do so. I do see that we just had somebody jump on stage. Steven, how are you doing today? If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them.
Yo, what's going on, man? Real cool to talk to you, Paper Diamond. I just had a question real quick. You mentioned something about some in real life events last week. I just wanted to know, maybe you could maybe let us know maybe where some of those events would be held, or if we could maybe participate, try to coordinate something with you to help you out with the in real life events.
Yeah. And yo, Steven, good to hear your voice, bro. I see you. I've been seeing you interact with all YOUCLUB since you've been in there, and like I appreciate that, and I know everyone else does too. So big love to you. Um, in terms of the in real life events, like I said, like my whole history is creating community and in real life events. Like I had an art gallery that was also a music management and label. Like I used to be the manager for a group called Cherub, who had that song like Doses and Mimosas. And we are in like the group Too Fresh, and we had this physical space where we had art shows and parties and all this stuff. And then I've thrown music festivals and like 10 different worldwide tours and just all the shit. So like we've got some things in the works, but I'm like mainly focusing on getting all of the core components of YOUCLUB together, and then we're going to start focusing on that. But we've got some talks about it. But I think that sooner than later we'll start doing some things so we can all hear each other's voices and get together even before it's in real life. And then just Jake and I have a history of like creating these events, like I said, like my whole career. So it's something that you can definitely expect, is that like there are talks happening, and we're going to figure out some insanely dope shit that we want to do, because I don't want to do it if it's not going to be like next level. But yeah, I will keep you in mind for when my boy Burke is here. Yo, so Burke, who just came in the room, B9RK, he and I created art together for like 20 years. Probably my best friend in the world. Like he and I co-founded Elm and Oak together. He actually started it first, and then he moved to Colorado, and we did it together. When I talk about Elm and Oak, that's that design firm and management and record label. Like he was the one running the shop when I was on tour, and one of the most loved people I know. So if you get a chance to check out Burke, definitely follow him. And he's been a major influence for me, and like he used to go every single city and place that I went to. He lived on the tour bus with me. And so he's been a major force in my life as well. So yeah, I think that like you'll see, like this, our community is just going to grow with really dope people. And it's more than just like the NFTs themselves. It's really like, how do we turn these into real friendships, and how do we inspire each other? And that's kind of what it's all about. So Burke, what up? I see you. Much love.
And
What else to Burke, man?
Yeah, dope, man.
so, just speaking on like trading friendships out of the Web3 space. The YOUCLUB is still like on my Twitter feed at least the only one that really utilizes the communities function. So I just want to shout you up for that. You guys did a good job, getting on top of that early. And I feel like I'm creating, some friendships here. And it's cool that you said that your NFTs are going to start looking like yourself and myself. Like, so it's going to be cool hopping in the community and actually seeing what some of these people look like when I'm talking to them. Because I do be reading them like daily. So yeah, shout out to the U community on behalf of GTA Crypto for sure.
Yes, that's the vibes. Well, yo, I'm gonna slide so I can get some things done. But so much love and thank you for like spreading the good word and getting in there and making friends with each other. And like that's really all I can ask for. So, I'm around. You want to hit me up, and we'll do this again soon.
Yeah, Diamond, really appreciate you. I can't wait till we're in a space and we can shoot the shit together again.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Take it easy. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. Take care.